So today we're going to talk a little bit about the skill atrophy lie. If you're a Big Four consultant, you probably spend a lot of your time in PowerPoint, in Excel. You might feel unqualified for industry roles in general, fearing that you don't have enough hard skills. Now, it's not actually the case. What you do have is a positioning and a translation problem. Today I'm going to debunk the skill atrophy lie and show you how exactly you can translate your skills into the commercial ROI that industry hiring managers actually love. So for anyone new here, my name's George. I spent 8 years at the Big Four in both London and Sydney before landing a senior industry role in just 5 weeks. Before I go through a few live examples with you on how to reposition your skills, I just want to talk a little bit about why Big Four consultants often feel this way. And that's a lot to do with the imposter syndrome when applying for industry roles. So at the Big Four, you're often working within this bubble. Everyone's talking consulting language, Big Four language, utilization targets, partner track, led transformations, led work streams, this sort of consulting Big Four language, and you often don't see things from an outside perspective. Not only that, your job title probably actually reflects working in the Big Four, right? Depending on the geography you're in, you'll likely say some variation of consultant or advisor. So again, you just tend to see yourself as a consultant and advisor, but don't forget, industry operates at a lot more slowly than the Big Four and the consulting world. So the impact that you have in consulting is often far greater than, and you can actually deliver a lot of outcomes for roles in industry as well. So what you actually need to do is just translate your skills for the commercial ROI and tangible outcomes that industry hiring managers are looking for. So I've got a few examples I want to talk through today, just some examples of consulting language that can be translated into operator language in your CV, and that you can do the same in your own time before applying for industry roles, and hopefully will give you a flavor of the sort of translation mechanisms that's possible and that industry hiring managers will be receptive to. So with no further ado, let's just get into it. So I've got 3 translation examples here. We'll just start with number 1, which is the stakeholder management example. So in a Big Four consulting sense, you might say naturally that you facilitated stakeholder alignment across multiple departments. Now, the equivalent operator translation when you're updating your CV for industry would say something along the lines of, I drove cross-functional consensus between finance and IT to unblock a 2 million system integration. Now, you see there's a big difference here. One is talking about the actual outcomes that were achieved. It's got some hard metrics like the $2 million as well. And it's all focused on the action and the result, essentially. And it goes deep into the domain details as well, finance, IT. It's a lot more hyper-specific, and that's what it all comes down to. It comes down to the how and so what, as I like to say. Now, translation example 2, which is more geared towards PMO and reporting. So a lot of you guys at the Big Four will have worked on projects like this. So you might be tempted to say in consulting language that you managed the PMO and delivered weekly status reports to the steering committee, which you pretty much, I guarantee you would have done on some of your projects for sure. Now, when you're translating that for industry hiring managers, you want to, again, talk about the what, the how and the so what. So here's an example that I engineered a centralized reporting rhythm that gave the executive team real-time visibility into a $10 million portfolio, identifying and mitigating 3 critical risks before they impacted the timeline. Again, you see the difference. It's hyper-specific. It adds metrics. You've got the 10 million, 3 critical project tasks. You're talking about the actual impact as well, real-time visibility. It's hyper-specific. It's not just talking about the situation and the task, it's talking about the action and the results. So that's what I like to say to all Big Four consultants. Spend the majority of the time talking about the impact that you had and the delivered, backed up by hard metrics where possible, okay? Now, just going into translation number 3, which is to do with process mapping. As a senior BA, I do a lot of this myself, but here's an example that you can also take on. So the consulting language here might be that you mapped current state process to identify synergies. A lot of consulting buzzwords there, okay? Now, for industry hiring managers, you want to talk about, I audited legacy workflows using Lean Six Sigma principles, identifying the bottlenecks that resulted in a 20% reduction in manual processing hours. Again, see the difference. You're talking about Lean Six Sigma, which is the actual process methodology. You're talking about what you actually did, the impact you did, which was identifying the bottlenecks and the 20% reduction, adding those hard metrics as well. So you're talking about the how and the so what, okay? So what I like to say to Big Four consultants is, if there's any doubt that you're not going granular enough, you're probably not Okay, so just keep on asking yourself, what is the so what of this? Like, what were the outcomes that you actually achieved for the client? Okay. So hopefully these few examples were actually helpful for you, and you actually have got an understanding of the actual reality check. So you do actually have the skills. It's more just translation and positioning them for industry hiring managers. Now, don't forget, as consultants, you do have additional advantages. You're used to hitting the ground running on new projects. You're used to being put in environments where you don't actually know much about and having to get up to speed very quickly. Often the outcomes you achieve are far greater than people in industry would have achieved, right? And that's why they hire consultants in the first place. So don't underplay your value. You're also used to highly political environments. You're used to managing expectations internally and externally, so you can use that to your advantage too. And you're used to delivering a lot of impact very quickly. So you absolutely do have the skills. It's more just about packaging them up and seeing the bigger picture, and just more focus on the outcomes and owning that outcome for the industry role you are applying for. I personally help Big Four consultants looking to land senior industry roles in the next 60 days. I've actually developed a free roadmap. The link's in my YouTube bio. You can go to georgeoptimize.com, which is my personal website, and download the free roadmap from there. And it outlines the methodology I use to land my senior industry role in 5 weeks that you also can replicate to your scenario and expedite your transition to industry. I do also offer free transition audits. The link's in my YouTube bio. Again, you're welcome to book a free 30-minute call. And what we'll do is we'll build you out a personalized roadmap to get you out of the Big Four and land your senior industry role in the next 60 days. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.